Texas League Baseball is next. And good Wednesday night, everybody. We welcome you into the live broadcast of Texas League Baseball. And now here's the voice of the San Antonio Missions, John Baker. Well, thank you, Bob, and hello, everybody. We welcome you to Game 2 of our 6-game set between the visiting Wichita Wind Surge and your San Antonio Missions. Well, tonight is Military Appreciation Night here at the ballpark, and so far we salute those that serve in uniform, those that serve to protect, and those that serve our country from foreign and domestic dictators, as we honor those that serve in our armed forces, our military, our police, our firefighters, and so many more here in this one. Every Wednesday home game, military members could get in the game for free without cost, and so far pretty good on that. Go online now at samissions.com, purchase and print your tickets from home. Also, follow us all season long with Bally Live and here on YouTube Live as we continue this 2026 season. Well, anyway, don't forget, tomorrow evening is a Flying Chanclas de San Antonio coming in as we have Taco Bell Value Day here at the ballpark. And so far, don't forget Friday as well. One more day of Flying Chanclas baseball here in this one. Two teams that continue the series on Saturday. And don't forget, on Sunday, we'll wrap it up with a 1:05 first pitch. Gates open at high noon. Well, anyway, joined in the booth by my partner, Bob. And so far, got to say, last night it was a defeat for San Antonio as the Wind Surge beats the Missions by a final score of 2-1. And so far, Wichita held up their defense as they literally did a pretty good job in getting things going. Well, I got to say, John, it has been a pretty good one last night, but many fans weren't happy right after that. But most evidently, it's a brand new night, and hopefully we can send you home happy. So anyway, yep, we are just about set to go here in Game 2 of our 6-game set. Braden's MLB The Show Gaming, how you doing? And what's playing some baseball? Well, yes, we will be getting right down to that in just a bit. And so far, just getting ready to conclude this pregame show with my partner, Bob. And so far, pretty good. Well, anyway, we'll get going here as we have our second game of this 6-game set between the visiting Wichita Wind Surge. Well, looks like we're having a little bit of a I think that right there will get us going. We're having a little technical issue, but most evidently we'll get going as we present this game here tonight. So another beautiful evening for Military Appreciation Night here at the ballpark. And so far, a few sun and clouds mixed in, but not enough clouds to get things looking great, but evidently we're just about set to go here for this one. Sean Boyle, a right-hander for San Antonio, will get on the mound as he's a four-seam slider, changeup, and a cutter. And 95 is that four-seamer. And so far, he knows the job to get things going here for San Antonio and to get things going.
The center fielder,
The center fielder is Maddox Houghton as he'll come in. And we are just about set to go. Here is the pitch. And that one is getting out of here. And he got all of it. And wow, first home run of the day. And the wind surge will strike first. It's now 1-0. Well, that was only the first pitch of the ball game. And I got to say, yeah, Braden is right. What a start. That 395 foot with a 102.3 exit velocity has really got something going. Here's Jorel Ortega as he comes in and powers that one in for the strike. And the count now at 0-1. Ball clubs tonight: Arkansas at Northwest Arkansas, Springfield at Tulsa, Frisco at Midland, Wichita at San Antonio, Amarillo at Corpus Christi. No balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. That one is high fly in the air and out of play, foul. And the count now 0-2. Here's the 0-2 offering. And that one is fouled off. Still hanging on. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. They got him. Blew it right by him for the first out. And now here's the Wichita starting lineups. Houghton, Ortega, Gonzalez will be the first 3. Amick, Mendez, Lugo, middle. Culpepper, Spain, and Olivar will round it out for Wichita here tonight. Gabriel Gonzalez coming in, and that's going to be a straightaway up the center for a base hit. And I'll tell you one thing, Wichita getting pretty strong as they come out and already hit a base hit and a home run. Look pretty good. Out of all the NFL teams ever, which one do you hate the most? Well, I got to say Dallas, because basically they can't win a championship, which that's most disappointing. But anyway, yep, I would have to go with Dallas. Dallas Cow Sissies. That ought to be their new name. Hey, well, come on now, John. I mean, they're not having a good couple of years, but most evidently, you know, they got rid of, like, Tommy Romo and all the other good people that made them what they are today. Well, Bob, I would say, you get the whole idea. Here's Henry Mendez. As that's in for a strike, the count now 0-1. Well, I would say those Cowgirls make quite a good name for themselves, and so far I hope they don't come over here to Nelson Wolf Stadium all the way to say, hey, y'all really got to watch what you say, because we could come over here and whoop you. And that's going to be right there up the left field, and that's through for a hit. So 2-1, 2 out here as Henry Mendez gets one to straightaway left. And that is out number, 2 outs going. And now here's Andy Lugo. And right there, they're going to call that. And that one is outside. So it looks like they have overcalled it. 1 ball and no strikes. Funny enough, I'm a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan, and we're going against the Dallas Cowboys on Thursday Night Football this season. Yeah. Going up against the Dallas Cowturds. How about that? Hey, that's not nice. Well, what else would you call a cowboy that stepped in cow pies, Bob? You're funny. Here's pitch. And right there, swing and a miss, and that will do it. But Maddox Houghton will get one run on a solo shot, and the wind surge is up by one. LOL, that's just a better name than the one you just listed before the second one. Trent Baker coming in, a right-hander. Hey, look, he's got the same last name as you. Your name is Jonathan Baker, and this is Trent Baker. Could he be a relative or a cousin of mine? Well, he might be. Luis Verdugo coming in. You know, and as for the Dallas Cowboys, I could come up with a lot of funny names for them. Well, can you name a couple? Well, the Dallas Cow Sissies, the Dallas Cow Pies, let's see, I'm trying to come up with at least 3 or 4 of them. Anyway, gotta say, kind of rough when you try to figure out what you're going to call them. Oh, cow sissies, cow pies, cowgirls. And that's going to be right there. Line drive it. That's through for a hit. And Verdugo going to second. And he's there with a no-out double. And the tying run now in scoring position. I'll tell you one thing. I just got to say, I bet Dallas needs to change their name. Especially after giving up so many opportunities and winning championships. You know, I don't think it's Dallas's fault. I mean, you know, they can switch their quarterbacks, their whatever positional players that they have, but most evidently they just get things the way that it is. You know, Tony Romo moved up and their head coach moved up, and so far a lot of things have really changed. Well, 3 balls and no strikes to count now. Ethan Salas getting on the on-deck circle, and that is pop foul. The count now 3-1. The tying run at second base. The go-ahead coming up, that's Kai Roberts. That one high in the air, straight away out of play, foul, and the count now 3-2. 3-2, here's the pitch. And that is going to be high in the air, straight away center. And there he goes. And he is safely at third with the fly out. And just 90 feet away from scoring in is the runner. So Verdugo, Robert Salas, Sanabria, Carpathios Fabian, Verdugo, Murphy, and Castañon will round it out. Ethan Salas coming in as we're set to go. Oh, you had a little funny accent when you called Dallas the Cow Pies. Gotta use that little accent when you get in there. Gotta sound like a Crocodile Dundee, man. Well, I tell you what, them Dallas Cowboys smell like they stepped in a bunch of cow pies. You're funny. But 1 ball and no strikes to count. And that is in for the strike. And they're going to argue that. And yeah, that is a call overturned, so it's a good thing he said something. Because now the count now 2-0. Tying run at third. And the pitch. And that is inside for a strike, and it's count now 2-1. Trent Baker. Now at 13 pitches for Wichita. And that one's going to be right there, and they're going to go after it. And here comes the run, is in the score, and they'll tie it up. And what a way to get that going, as now it's a tie ball game. Romeo Sanabria coming in. And here's the pitch. That one fouled and away. The count now 0-1. No balls, one strike. And that's going to be right there. And he had a little trouble, but he gets going to recover. And with that, the side is retired. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors. And they leave nobody on. Second inning coming up. We're deadlocked at 1. Colleen Culpepper coming in as we get things going for the top of the second in this one. Thou set to go for the second inning. Right now for Wichita, the Missions Baseball Network. Well, here is Colleen Culpepper, 7-8-9, due up against Sean Boyle. The second inning, thou set to go. That one is straightaway center field, and that is high. Roberts under it will make the play, and that is out number 1. Right fielder is Garrett Spang. Spang coming in, ready to go. The pitch. That one is foul, and the count now 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. And that one fouled in the way. The count now 0-2. Here's pitch. And that's a swing and a miss. Just blew it right by him for the out. And they're 2 down. Well, that'll bring up Ricardo Olivar as he'll come in. And the pitch is right there. Sanabria will take it himself, and that's the inning. No runs, hits, or errors, and nobody on for Wichita as we're 2.5. And we're deadlocked 1-1. No About set to go as we lead it off for Braden Carpathios as he comes in. About set to go for the bottom of the second. Right now, the Missions Baseball Network. Well, that'll bring up Braden Carpathios as he'll lead it off. Bottom of 2. And the pitch right there fouled off. And the count now 0-1. Another beautiful night like it was last night. And that's going to be right there. Line drive. And that's a base hit through up at the left field. Boy, and San Antonio trying to get in and win this one here tonight on the Military Appreciation Night Wednesday. And so far, I know losing last night was pretty rough around the edges. Albert Fabian, designated hitter, coming in as he'll get that one powered in for a strike. And it's the count now 0-1. And the pitch right there and outside. The count now 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, and the pitch. Swing and a miss. Count now 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The count to the 6-hole batter. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. And that was high and outside. Could have held up for a ball, but instead he goes around swinging. Here's Rosamond Verdugo. And that is out of play, foul. And the count now 0-1. 1-1 tie between Wichita and San Antonio. Beautiful evening as we're here at the ball game. And that one is fouled off. The count now 0-2. Just a beautiful evening for this game. Right, Bob? Gotta say, John, absolutely right. Well, the second for 1, and they get them both. And that's the inning. Well, third inning set to go as we lead it off for Wichita. And it will be a new inning coming up. We're tied 1-1. Maddox Houghton is 1 for 1 solo home run in the first inning. As we get ready to go, he was a solo home run in the first inning as he came in the ball game and boy, got something going. Right there, the count now at 0-1. And the pitch. That one is a high flyer, straightaway left field. Murphy gets under it and makes the play for out number 1. Jarrell Ortega coming in now, 0 for 1, a strikeout. 1-1 tie against Wichita and San Antonio, top of the third inning. And if you are listening to us here on the radio or watching us on Bally Live and YouTube Live, that is also good too. That one, ground ball straight away, and that is out of play. And the pitch. And that is fouled in the way, still hanging on. Here's pitch. And that one fouled in the way. Still hanging on is Ortega. And the pitch. Called third strike, and that is out number 3. Well, here is Gabriel Gonzalez, the left fielder. And the pitch. And that is got high in the air, straightaway center. Moving under it is Roberts as he'll make the play for the inning. Well, no runs, hits, or errors, and nobody left on for Wichita. And we are going to the bottom of the third right after our commercial messages. Welcome you back to the ballpark after our little bit of a break. Here's the left fielder, Kai Murphy. Murphy coming in is set to go. Ouch, that had got him. Ooh. Marcos Castañon coming in now. And that is going to be right there now to play foul. The count now 0-1. I think Castañon is trying to seek revenge, and because of the teammate that got hit, he's just going to go after him. That is right there. Line drive straight away, and that is through for a base hit. And so far, San Antonio's got the tie-breaking and the go-ahead there at first. Here is Rosemond Verdugo as he comes in. And that one is out of play. The count now 0-1. First and second here in this one. Verdugo is a 1-for-1 double. And the pitch. And that's going to stay alive. And that is right there. The count now 1-2.
No, that's inside.
Oh, that was outside for a count. That's 2-2.
Ball, that's up.
And that is ball 3. That one too high as we looked at an instant replay. And trying to figure out where that one was. And that is ball 4. And then the bases get loaded. Man, and I tell you one thing. San Antonio trying to get something going. And let's see if Kai Roberts can get this game in the favor of the Alamo City. Well, San Antonio never backed down when it came to that war. And that's going to be right there, the second for 1. Not in time, as that will be an infield base hit, a run in the score. And now San Antonio taking the lead. It's 2-1. Ethan Salas coming in as he'll get ready to go. And the pitch. That's a high pop-up. And that should have been an infield fly. And most evidently, it should have been. I don't know why they didn't call that. I don't know there, Bob. Romeo Sanabria, the first baseman, coming in. And the pitch.
Ball.
And that is outside, and the count now 1-0. Here's pitch. And that is high in the air, straightaway center. And that'll pretty much do it for this half inning. So, 1 run on a few hits, no errors, and they leave nobody on. Well, leave one on, I should say. San Antonio leading it 2-1 against Wichita. So Billy Amick coming in, Mendez and Lugo will get things going here in the top half of the fourth. Alrighty, bounce set to go for the top of the fourth. Right now, the Missions Baseball Network. Billy and Mick coming in, 4, 5, and 6. Due up against Sean Boyle. Top of the fourth for Wichita here in San Antonio, Texas. Here's the windup and the pitch. That one is fouled off. And the count down, 0-1. Fourth inning in a 2-1 ball game, and San Antonio being out in front by that one run. Just a pretty good thing for San Antonio to get something going and win here tonight. Here's the 0-2. And that one is out of play, foul. The count now still hanging on. No balls and 2 strikes. 0-2. And right there, that one gone straight away left, and that is out of here. And that is a home run by Billy and Mick. 418 foot over a 107 mile per hour exit velocity. Man, that one was hit on the absolute screws. And so far, that just got out of the ballpark like it did. Hendry Mendez coming in now, 1 for 1 here tonight.
Yeehaw!
And that's going to be taken in for a strike. The count now 2-1. 2-2 ball game, top of the fourth here in this one. And that's going to be right there, swing and a miss. Count now at 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes to count and the pitch. Fouled off again. 0-2. Swing and a miss. Got him. They blew it right by him for the out. In now is Andy Lugo. Here's the first pitch offering, and that is a swing and a miss. The count now at 0-1. 0 for 1, a strikeout the last time around. Here's the 0-1. And that one is going to be crushed high in the air. Straightaway center as Ty Roberts get it. And there is out number 2. That'll bring in Colin Culpepper as he'll come in. 0 for 1 flyout. 2-2 ball game here in the top of the fourth inning. Wichita and San Antonio both are tied with a 2. And that's going to be high in the air straight away, right field. Carpathios on his horse gets it and makes the play for the out. Well, Billy and Mick will tie us up as we head to the bottom of the fourth, and it's 2-2. Beautiful shot as downtown San Antonio overlooks a sunset, which is pretty nice. Still pretty good. Braden Carpathios, the right fielder, coming in. 1 for 1 single as we head to the last of the fourth inning. And trying to untie this ball game. That's right there. Line drive straight away. Left field, base hit. And San Antonio with a getting in this ball game. And so far, pretty good. Don't forget, series continues tomorrow for Thursday night baseball. Flying Chanclas coming in. It'll be Chanclas and Wind Surge. Don't forget, Friday night, $2 Dr. Pepper night presented by the Flying Chanclas. And that is crushed right there and gone. 2-run shot by Albert Fabian. His first of the day. And that is San Antonio jumping out in front. It's now 4-2. Man, he absolutely crushed it right there. Here is Rosemond Verdugo as he'll come in. That one, ground ball straight away, center field line for the base hit. Hi, Murphy coming in. He's the 8-hole batter. Starting to see a familiar face in the dugout. Left fielder Kai Murphy coming in. Francisco Ocuña literally standing on one leg, and boy, the crutches really support him and stuff. Quinones and Nolan, a righty and a lefty, warming up in the Wichita bullpen. Baker now at 44. That is right there, line straight, second for one, and they got him. Actually, no, they did not. And that will be an infield single. One out, gets out at second, but the runner safely aboard at first base. Marcos Castañon coming in. 1-for-1 single to him here tonight. And that one is high fly in the air, found. The count now 0-1. Baker coming in, swing and a miss. The count now 0-2. 47 pitches by Trent Baker. And that is right there, called third strike. And the backwards on the second one comes in. Well, we look at the stats of Trent Baker. 50% is all but used of the four-seam fastball, a changeup slider, and a two-seamer down in the lower spots of those numbers. And that's going to be right there, line straight away, left center, and that's through for a hit. What is the best MLB team ever, in your opinion? Well, most evidently, I would have to go with the, should I say, San Diego Padres, if I may. And evidently pretty good as they support the San Antonio Missions and El Paso Chihuahuas. Roberts is 0 for 2, a fly-out, fielder's choice, and RBI. And pitch is in for the cold strike, and the count now 1-1. 0 for 2 with the ball game here tonight. San Antonio trying to get something going, and that is going to be high in the air. And that is up to the shortstop to make the play. But there is short is the third baseman. Well, a two-run shot by Albert Fabian will crushes this lead wide open. San Antonio out in front, 4-2. The right fielder, Garrett Spain, is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. We're entering now into the fifth inning. As that is in for a strike, the count now 0-1 as he'll get in and get something going. Sean Boyle now at 40 pitches. His start for San Antonio comes in pretty good. That's a slider inside as it's popped commit into the mid of into the mitt of the San Antonio catcher. And that is a changeup, and the count now 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes to pitch. And that's going to be high flying in the air up the left field, and that is out number 1. Ricardo Olivar coming in as the catcher for the Wind Surge. He's 0 for 1, a ground out. San Antonio 4, Wichita 2, top of the fifth inning if you are joining us here on YouTube Live. Here's the windup and the
Ball.
pitch. That one is a slider outside. The count now 1-1. Here's the pitch. And that's ground ball straight away. Give it right to Sanabria. And that is out number 2. Okay, so what is the best MLB team ever? I would say the Padres. What is the worst MLB? But I don't really know who would be the worst one would be. But evidently, I just don't have an answer for that. Well, right there, as that will be the play made as the third baseman intercepts that fastball. And with that, the Siders is retired. Bottom of 5, San Antonio leading it 4-2. Luis Quinones coming in now. The 4-seam fastball, curveball, changeup, 2-seam fastball. Quinones now pitching for Wichita. Ethan Salas coming in is 0 for 1, sacrifice fly, RBI. Boy, and so far, Mother Nature, by the time we get into the next week's series, do you think the 2025 World Series was a good World Series? I think it was. What do you think? Well, I gotta say, 2025, I think it was a pretty good World Series. Well, did you watch it, though? Yeah, I did. First baseman Romeo Sanabria coming in. It was probably one of the best World Series in MLB history.
No, ball.
Yeah, right there in the end for the count now, 1-1. Well, anyway, as we look at the World Series of last year, the LA Dodgers winning 5-1 against the Blue Jays. And that is right there, the count now 2-2. Well, Dodgers won 6-5. And do believe, or actually, hang on a second. I think I'm getting us overly confused. But more in all, we'll definitely look and see where we are. But yeah, there's been a lot of times. So game 1, the Blue Jays won against the Dodgers 11-4. And that was on October 24th, 2025, with Toronto leading that series by 1. Well, the LA Dodgers come in against the Blue Jays 5-1, and that tied up the series at 1-1. Game 3, Dodgers took that one 6-5 against Toronto. And then game 4, series was tied. Blue Jays from Toronto, 6-2. That one fouled in the way. The count now still holding on at 2-2. Toronto winning 6-1 in game 5, and they lead 3-2 in that series. Game 6, Dodgers took the win 3-1 against Toronto. And then the Dodgers took the win, a 4-3 win series by the final of 5-4. So pretty good for the LA Dodgers going up against the Toronto Blue Jays. We're talking about Toronto, Canada. So pretty good right there. So how far is Toronto from Calgary on that one? I don't know, Bob, but that could be maybe 1,000 miles right there. Well, we head for the top half of the sixth inning as we look at our scorecard. And so far, gotta say, what a night it's becoming as we get ready for the sixth inning. Here is Jorel Ortega. Who do you think is going to win Super Bowl 61? That's a hard question to answer, though. I mean, to tell you one thing, it's between a lot of NFLs out there. Yeah, I gotta say, John, I mean, I don't even know myself on who would win the 61st Super Bowl. Here is Gabriel Gonzalez now. And the pitch is right there and in for the strike, and the count now at 0-1. Here's the 0-1. And that one is out of play, foul, and the count now 0-2. Right there, straight away. And they don't get anybody, as that is way too late to get anybody. And now first and second. And here's Billy Amick, the third baseman. 1 for 2, solo home run in the fourth. Wind up in the pitch, and that's in for a strike. And the count now at 0-1. Sixth inning. Tying run at first. Go ahead is Billy Amick in this one. And that is a swing and a miss. Count now 0-2. Here's the pitch. And that one is out of play. Foul. And the count now 0-2. 0-2. And still holding it foul. 55 pitches for Sean Boyle for San Antonio pitching. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Slider got him. To tell you one thing, I think the 2025 World Series was pretty good as LA Dodgers became the world champions of that year. And that's going to be right there to second for one. They relay it, not in time, and they will get the force out at second. And so far, boy, tell you one thing, he beat the throw, and that was pretty good. Well, time is going to get called as here comes the manager before Andy Lugo comes in, who's 0 for 2. And we're going to go with a new reliever after the starter, Sean Boyle, is now getting out of this ball game here in the top half of the sixth inning. Well, Evan Federer coming in now. Four-seam, curveball, changeup, and a slider. Will get on the hill for San Antonio as he'll pitch in for relief. That 94 on the four-seam will come in and definitely will get something going. This one is our proud switch in the San Antonio Missions reliever, Evan Federer, a West Creek Trail Rides reliever. And right there, the count now 0-1 to Andy Lugo. 0 for 2, strikeout and a flyout as he comes in by the first baseman. Here's the 0-1. Trying to hold a 2-run lead. 2 outs, 2-1. Top of the sixth. San Antonio up 4-2. Sixth inning for the wind surge. And that's going to be right there. And the second for one. And they got him. No damage done. And that will end the inning. So no runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 left. As we're through 6.5. San Antonio up 4-2. Jalen Nolan coming in now for the wind surge, a left-hander, the four-seam slider, changeup, and a two-seam fastball. Getting ready to go. But you look at this guy right here, like Albert Fabian, and so far this guy hit a two-run shot, giving San Antonio the upper hand, now 4-2. 1 for 2 of the ball game, and that's in for the strike, and the count now 0-1. So a pretty good night for military personnel as they come into the ball game for free of charge. And so far, any Wednesday home game, any military personnel, the proof of showing of ID, a military ID, could get in the game for free. Just remember, if you are trying to be a military personnel and you have no ID or background check, and you're pretending to be serving in our armed forces, then that is stolen valor. Bob will tell you a lot about that. Yeah, stolen valor is not a good thing, because if you do it, then I tell you one thing, you're a disservice to our nation, and you're deserving so many that are serving this country and disrespecting so many that served and fought and died the line of duty, and so far, to serve, you just really got to go and you got to serve. That is for sure. My grandpa, he served 6 years in the Marines once he got out of high school. Yeah, my grandpa was like that too. He served 8 years in the United States Army. Oh, did he? Well, that's pretty good. And then got my two cousins, Lance and Troy Winkler. Well, they literally got in and they served in the Navy. But, evidently, Troy lives in Ohio and my other cousin lives in Odessa. And that's going to be right there, line drive. And that is not through for a hit. And that's going to be a 2-out double for Kai Murphy as he gets in and he gets something going. But I tell you one thing, it really angers me that if you try to be something that you're not, and you're stealing stolen valor. So tell you one thing, if you say you served but you didn't, then you're just a flat-up liar. There's no doubt about it. And there's one thing I hate is somebody lying to me. You know what, Bob? I absolutely agree. So here's Marcos Castañon.
That's a ball.
It's 2 balls and no strikes, 1 for 2. Stolen valor is also a federal crime. And so far, if you are caught wearing a uniform claiming that you have served but you really didn't serve, well, you could go to jail for a long time, up to 3 years or more, depending on how punishable the offense could be. But anyway, that will be the end right there, as that will be the side retired. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors. We have 1 left on for San Antonio. It's the 7th inning, straight ahead right after this. Well, leading it off is Colleen Culpepper as he'll come in, 0 for 2 and 2 flyouts. 4-2 our score. San Antonio up just by 2, and that is in for the strike. And the count now at 0-1. 7th inning already, and that is in for a strike. The count now 0-2 to Colleen Culpepper. But to tell you one thing, also Eternal Affairs will get in, and they will put that through investigations and so. But anyway, we can search that on Google. So, what happens in stolen valor? It occurs when somebody falsely claims military service or unearned medals under the Federal Stolen Valor Act.
No,
It
that
is
missed. That's
only
a ball.
a crime if the person uses these lies specifically to obtain money, property, or other tangible benefits. Fraudulent actors could face fines, imprisonment for up to 1 year, or both. The U.S.
Nope, ball.
Supreme Court has ruled that simply lying about military service or wearing medals you did not earn is generally protecting as free speech under the First Amendment. Right there, line drive straight away, and that is through for a hit. The criminal threshold is to be prosecuted. The false claim must be made with the intent to obtain money, property, or other tangible benefits, fraudulent VA benefits, discounts, or donations. Violations are federal misdemeanors that carry consequences of significant fines up to 1 year in prison or both. And yep, so far, if you are caught, well, you get 1 year in prison. Maybe it'll make you change your mind. But tell you one thing, I don't think anybody should tolerate stolen valor of any kind. If you say you served but you didn't serve, well, geez, what are you doing? And the count now 0-2 to Olivar as he comes in. You know, John, you're absolutely right, and gotta say it's a disservice to our entire armed forces and so many. Well, Ricardo Olivar did not like that called third strike and then literally just arguing about it before walking to the bullpen. Maddox U10 coming in is 1-for-3 solo home run in the first inning. Seventh inning with 2-1 and 1 away here. San Antonio leading 4-2. Don't forget, tomorrow night, Flying Chanclas return back to the ballpark as we continue this series against Wichita. Here's the 0-1. And that's a high flyer straight away center field as Roberts will intercept it. And that is out number 2. Boy, San Antonio has a pretty good lead in this game. Joriel Ortega coming in as 1-for-3 single. That is for sure, Bob. Beautiful night here in San Antonio, Texas, as we're starting to see a orange moon. Do you see that, Bob? No, I see it. But anyway, pretty good. Right there, the third straightaway as Sanabria gets it, and that will end the inning. Well, we head for the bottom of the 7th as we take you out to the ball game. San Antonio with the lead. It's now 4-2. We're back here as we bring you the 7th inning stretch here in home. And the Mission's up by 2. Well, hope you enjoyed the seventh inning stretch. Now we take you back to the ballpark as we bring you the rest of this game. And now, John Baker, take it away. Thank you, Bob. Luis Verdugo coming in now as he gets set to go for the San Antonio bottom half of the seventh inning. That one straight away, high in the air, up the center field. And that is out number one. But anyway, I think we have to say that we are proud of our service members, those that have served and protected our communities, our country, and everything else. We say thank you to those that serve. Well, in now, Kai Roberts, the center fielder, coming in as we get ready to go. Here is the 0-1. And that one is going to be up to the second baseman, straight away to first, and in time for out number 2. Don't forget, Game 3 is tomorrow at 7:05. It is the Flying Chanclas returning to the ballpark. 2 days only in the remainder of this homestand. Well, West Creek Trail Rides, pitching change for Wichita. Paul Sean Poscolato is coming in for Wichita. 4-seam, slider, changeup, and a sinker. Poscolato now pitching for Wichita. Here's the pitch by Poscolato as that will be out of play. And the count now 0-1. Sun already gone down. The daytime is getting out of here. And that's going to be line drive straight ahead. And that's going to get up and not close enough to the wall, as that will be caught by the left fielder for the out. 8th inning set to go as San Antonio with the lead. It's 4-2. Gabriel Gonzalez is 1 for 3 single as we're back here in this broadcast. Top half of the 8th inning. Wichita down to their final 6 outs. And San Antonio just holding up a 2-run lead, and so far trying to get everything they can in order to keep this lead intact. So that's going to go up to the right field area, and that's going to get through for a base hit. And a no-out double by Gonzalez will get something going. Well, Billy and Mick coming in now. And the pitch right there, swing and a miss. Count now 0-1. 1 for 3 home run RBI and a run by a Mick here today. And here's the 0-1. Right there, a swing and a miss. And the count now 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes to count, and the pitch. And that one is out of play, foul. No balls, 2 strikes. That's a high pop-up straight away. Left fielder Murphy getting after it. And they'll throw down the third just to be safe. But so far, pretty good on that. Well, that'll bring up Henry Mendez, the designated hitter. Don't forget, tomorrow, Flying Chanclas, Game 3 against the Wichita Wind Surge. Our first pitch at 7:05. Don't forget, $2 Dr. Pepper Day, as we'll have $2 Dr. Pepper all night long, presented by the Flying Chanclas. Series will continue on Saturday as we'll have post-game fireworks for Game 5 of the 6-game series. Sunday we'll wrap it up against Wichita, and so far that's going to be pretty good. High in the air, right there. Carpathios get it. Here comes the runner. And so far, they get the ball back in quickly, and that's a good thing, is getting something going. Andy Lugo, the first baseman, coming in, 0 for 3, a strikeout, fly out, and a ground out. It's top half of the 8th inning, 2 away, as the third run for Wichita just sits there at 90. That's a high pop-up straight away. And the second baseman will take it himself. That's the inning. They leave a runner stranded at third, as that will do. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. And that's San Antonio 4-2. Romeo Sanabria coming in as we lead it off in the bottom half of the 8th inning. And the pitch is right there, and that's a swing and a miss. Well, a righty, Olivares, is warming up in the wind surge bullpen. And so far, pretty good. Here's pitch, and that's a ground ball straight away short. In time, out at first. And that is out number 1. Braden Carpathios coming in is 2 for 3, 2 singles and a run. Facing off Paul Sean Piscolato. That one high and outside, and the count now 1-0. 4,514 in tonight's attendance. We had a pretty good night tonight. But anyway, a nice night as the moon is nicely full. A beautiful night for baseball here in San Antonio, taking on the Wichita Wind Surge. That's high fly in the air, straight away, and that is out number 2. Well, that'll bring up the designated hitter as Albert Fabian is 1 for 3, home run, 2 RBIs, and a run. Well, Bob, I gotta say, if San Antonio gets the new ballpark, I think they're gonna see nights that we will be lighted up like crazy. Yeah, I gotta say, John, that's gonna be pretty crazy if you know what I mean. That is for sure. That's the count now, 0-2. Having a downtown ballpark and being a little ways from the San Antonio Spurs. And boy, that would be overly crowding in parking. Here's the 0-2. Right there, out of play, and still holding on. The 0-2 delivery. And, ooh, that got him. Man, Piscolato just really let that one loose. Bet he didn't mean to do that, but most evidently, you know, it's one of them things. That one's high in the air, up the right field, and that does not come back to haunt him, as that is the side retired. 3 outs to win it for San Antonio, and so far the mission's trying to get up there and win it. And now here is the Kylene Culpepper as he'll come in, 7-8-9, bottom half of the order. Evan Fitterer coming in. That one's hit high in the air and now play foul. And the count now 0-1. There's pitch, and that's a swing and a miss. Count now 0-2. 4-2 our score here in the top of the 9th inning. San Antonio leading the 2 runs. And that is going to be high fly in the air. Center fielder Roberts will get it, and that is out number 1. It would take a miracle for Wichita to pull something off, but most evidently, I mean, they're down to their final 2 outs. Well, that is for sure. And that is out of play foul, and the count now at 0-1. Here's the 0-1. And that's high in the air, foul. Still hanging on. Here's pitch. Swing and a miss. Blew it right by him. And now the wind surge down to their final out. Here's Ricardo Olivar. Olivar coming in for the last time of the night.
Ball.
And the slider is outside for a count now 1-0. I want to thank everybody that came out to the ball game and those that were in the live chat today. The 1-0 delivery, and that is in for the strike. And the count now at 1-1. 1-1. Swing and a miss. The count now 1-2. 1-2. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be right there. And San Antonio takes the W. And so far, a 2-run lead propels them to the victory. The 18th win of the season as they take that one against the wind surge. And so far, a pretty good night here tonight. Well, most evidently, pretty good. As we had a pretty good day today, Bob. Yeah, I gotta say, John, absolutely right. Well, anyway, there is only 4 games left here in this one. And so far, glad everybody came out and enjoyed a grand old game of baseball. You know, anyway, we'll be up in Frisco on Tuesday the 19th. And so far, well, just enjoy the rest of this homestand in this series. And so far, pretty good. Well, anyway, final score is 4-2. Let's go ahead and give some runs, hits, and errors first for San Antonio. 4 runs, 8 hits, no errors. And for Wichita, 2-0. Trent Baker gets the loss. The player of the game, Albert Fabian, is 1 for 3, a home run, and 2 RBIs. Sean Boyle is the winner on the mound for San Antonio, and the save will go to Evan Fitterer. Well, anyway, hope everybody had a pretty good day today, as we all know. But so far, 4 games left with the wind surge, and then it'll be off to play the Frisco Rough Riders before too long. And then back home to take on Corpus Christi, well, right after that. Well, anyway, hope everybody gets home safely. And we will see y'all again for Thursday night baseball against the visiting Wichita Wind Surge. Well, we'll be right back as we get ready to go for Game 3 of the 6-game set against Wichita. Well, we'll see y'all again later, and have a good night. Yeah, good night, everybody. And also for our audience tonight, thank y'all for joining in the live chat. And so far, well, have a good night, everybody.